Hi everyone, this is Leo Volont. I wrote a new blog just now, and as I will explain, I really should have written something like this before. Well, better late than never. Well, here, let me read it to you. Dream of death, an essential rite of passage. I was going to write a blog on dream flying, but then it occurred to me that I would be getting ahead of myself. Before you can learn to fly in dreams, you have to no longer be afraid of dying, because basically the best way of learning to fly is to jump off the top of a tall dream building, a bridge, or a dream cliff, and then pull out of the dive before hitting the ground. But if you think you're going to get killed, you certainly won't be jumping off of anything much taller than a footstool, even if it is in a dream. So before you can learn how to dream fly, you need to get yourself killed. Well, that is, killed in a dream. The trick is there that you won't die, or you won't die for very long. And when you realize that, then it makes you fearless, or fearless enough to take up flying without any amount of prohibitive anxiety. Fortunately, there's already a kind of an archetypical dream motif which should culminate in your dream death and instant resurrection. It is the running away from monsters dream. Most people have had this dream. It is the dream in which you are in fear of losing your life and you are running away from something that's terribly deadly, but you feel that your feet are made of lead and the running is tortuously slow. Well, even that feeling of slowness is deceptive. It turns out that you're not slow at all, but that your sense of time has been distorted because since you are in survival panic mode, your brain is firing at 7 to 12 perception bursts for every one burst that it would ordinarily be firing. And so it is like high-speed photography that looks like slow motion when you run the film, but it's actually an inverse proportion relationship. The more perception ticks there are, the slower the time seems to go by. You know, martial artists spend years trying to be able to consciously flip on the switch for this panic survival sensory mechanism. The ability to fight in slow motion would give one, well, a lot of time to think. While it would seem to one's opponent that one was wildly thrashing, one could actually be cutting the buttons off of the guy's shirt with a cavalry saber. But in these running from monster dreams, nobody is aware that it's slow motion. And the idea that they are only able to move very slowly when something that deadly is approaching them, well, it adds to the panic. Typically, one will wake up before the monster or whatever it is catches up to you. To close out this dream motif, and it'll repeat. It doesn't happen once, it keeps happening again and again. That's why it's a motif. It's to close out this motif, you have to turn and face the monster. Does anybody ever defeat the monster? Well, yes, I suppose to. Not me, but I guess it could happen. But it's not really necessary to win. It is sufficient if the monster just kills you. But you need to go into this dream prepared. After you get killed, you need to stay in the dream for a while longer. Don't wake up just because you've been killed and you think that's the end of the dream. No, it's not. If you wake up too soon, the dream is wasted and you'll need to do a do-over. You see, you might have to lay on the ground dead for about 20 seconds, but soon enough it will occur to you that you're not really dead, and you will be able to get up and brush off the dust of what is a new, fearless, or fearless enough you. It turns out that when I finally turned around to face my monster, it was the guard with the mirror sunglasses from the movie Cool Hand Luke. The guard with that Remington 30-06 hunting rifle. So I turned around and I saw that he was about to shoot me. And so I said, "Whoa! I don't want to see this." And so I turned my back to him. Blam! The bullet struck me in the back of my head and knocked me forward and my face hit the dirt. The guard walked up and gave me a small kick and mumbled, "He's dead all right." Oh wait, where'd it go? Yeah. And then he continued on in his pursuit of my friends who didn't think it was a good idea to stop to get shot. But this dream had been happening a lot, and I was tired of the same old running away and thought it was time to try something new. I don't know where the courage came from. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of that kid that turned around. Well, like I said, after 20 seconds, I got restless and got up and looked around. And there was a gas station nearby and the men's room was open, and so I went inside without closing the door and looked in the mirror and opened my mouth wide. Well, I could see daylight coming out through the back of my head, and I remember saying, "Yeah, I'm dead all right." But then the paradox hit me. I couldn't be dead and be walking around and talking about it at the same time, could I? Well, over the next few nights, I got killed some more. The first night, I was machine gunned to death, and the next night, I was hit by a train. Heck, getting stabbed by a pin hurts infinitely worse than getting killed in a dream. The dream self is not really the same as the waking self. The dream self knows that it is operating under different rules and knows that it is in fact living in a dream. I honestly think that the dreams we remember are just the dreams we remember, and that the dream self is dreaming 24 hours a day. Well, once the dream self knows that it can't be killed, it doesn't need to be told twice. The fearlessness comes as a matter of fact. And once there is fearlessness, there is no longer fear of falling. And without fear of falling, then learning to fly is just a matter of practice makes perfect. So I honestly believe this dream of death is perhaps one of the most important rites of passage that dreams have to offer. I don't know why I haven't written about this before. Yes, perhaps one doesn't have to die. All those legends of fighting dragons seem to end in victory over the dragon, don't they? But, maybe there's always been New Age bullshit. Maybe people just say that to trick young people into turning to fight so that they will achieve the real goal of getting their asses killed and then rising up from the dead. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me turn this thing off before it goes over too long. Thanks again. Oh, please write in your comments.